Hey everybody, it's Hayato from Tech for Geeks, and I'm kind of a mess right now, so I'm not going to be showing up on camera at the moment, but I just got back from the Motorola event in Chicago, where they showed off some of their latest products, including the new Moto X, the Moto G, the Moto 360, the Moto Skip, and what we're going to kind of do right now is what I'm going to be calling a Motorola press bag unboxing. This is exactly the backpack that they gave all of us as we were leaving, containing all of the review units and all of that. And instead of doing an individual video for each device, I wanted to kind of cover everything in this single video to kind of keep it a bit more streamlined. So again, this is what they handed us as we were leaving. This is everything we got from the event, and I wanted to give you guys kind of that experience, starting off with one of the biggest topics of the of Motorola as of lately, the Moto 360. Now, this is their new Android Wear smartwatch, and of course, it's one of the very first round-faced smartwatches to be announced, which is really cool. I'm not gonna lie to you, we've already kind of opened some of these. Some of them were already opened when they gave them to us, so it's not going to be quite the plastic covered saran wrap experience you're going to get when you buy this. Available actually the very next day of me getting this. So this one is it comes with this little placeholder for the strap, and this is the Moto 360. So it's if we go ahead and undo that, there we go. You can see we have a genuine leather wrist strap, which is really, really nice. And if we tap on the screen, that'll kind of activate Google Now. We can swipe that away, and now you have the main display. You can go ahead and change the watch face on here. Just kind of flick through the different watch faces. I actually really like this one right over here, the rotate, as well as the standard minimal watch face. But yeah, the Moto 360 is really definitely an interesting device. Works paired to your smartphone just like any other Android Wear device we've seen so far. The only issue I've noticed as of yet is the battery life, but this is my very first day. I've only had it for a few hours, so I'm not gonna be making any final judgments as at the moment. We go ahead and take this top part out. And here you can see the rest of what's in the box. In here, I've not even seen what's in here yet, actually. Looks like we've got the power adapter and charging cable. Now that cable is going, it does not plug into the watch. That's going to be going directly into this little wireless charging rack. And we're going to go ahead and open that, because why not? Let's see here. So we take that out of the plastic. And if I go ahead and grab the watch again, you can see this is going to mount just like that. It is somewhat magnetized, but it's not going to hold it if you did what I just did and put it upside down. But it is it's wireless charging, and it'll actually, when you dock it on here, when it's plugged in, it will trigger a just a standard clock on there, so you can use your watch as kind of an alarm clock while it's charging at night, which it looks like you're still probably going to have to do just about every day, which is kind of unfortunate. Moving on to the next product, let's go ahead and reach in and grab whatever is next. Actually, let's skip that for now, because I want that to be the last thing we talk about. So let's grab the Moto G. So Motorola, there have been a lot of rumors of the Moto X, the sequel to the Moto X being called the X+1 or the all-new Moto X. I'm actually really happy that Motorola went ahead and just stuck with the names. They didn't make any changes. It's not the all-new device. This is still the Moto G. The new Moto X is still just the Moto X, which I really like. It keeps it pretty easy to keep up with. So Moto G right here, this was actually Motorola's best-selling device ever with last year's model. And here they've just upgraded it, and it's actually a really nice product right now. It's in a lot of ways, it's very comparable to last year's Moto X, which is pretty cool. So here you can see they've updated the screen. Last year it was a 4.5-inch 720p display. Now they've moved it up to a 5-inch 1080p, or sorry, it's still 720p, but it's a 5-inch 720p display that actually looks pretty good. You've also got these dual front-facing speakers, the same kind of thing we saw on the Moto E. The infrared sensor right here, I think it adds a bit of an awkward design to it, but you know, that's I'm sure that was kind of necessary. You've got the front-facing camera right over here, and then on the sides, same as last time, you have the power button and the volume up and down. And then flipping over to the back, pretty much the same as the Moto G and the Moto X from last year. Only thing we're missing is the speaker grills on either side, and that's of course because they've been moved over to the front. So pretty cool stuff there. The back is still removable, and they've actually, we'll move on to the next thing if I can get this off. There we go. So the back of the Moto G is still removable and can be replaced with this right here. This, of course, being the flip cover for the Moto G, which is pretty sweet. So we can go ahead and stick that on. And now you just have a flip cover. It's a lot like, you know, what you've seen on a lot of the Samsung phones lately, and even some of the other devices. This phone's already been turned on, but you can see it's actually pretty neat when you close the flap, open it back up, screen turns on. Really nice, and it's got this nice grippy texture, which I actually enjoy quite a bit. The rest of the box, by the way, is just going to be the power adapter and charging cable, so pretty standard stuff there. Alright, so second to last thing we get in the bag is going to be this Motorola Power Pack Micro. Now, it's basically just going to be a portable battery pack, although it's got this little sort of a key fob kind of thing. Motorola calls it the Motorola Key Link. So you know, you just you put it on your key ring, and then if you happen to lose your key ring or your phone, you know, you hit a button on one or the other, and it'll ping the other device so you can find it. Sort of neat. You know, it's nothing new. It's all stuff we've seen before, but it's still pretty cool to have them implemented, I guess. And here is my favorite part, the Moto X. Obviously, this is Motorola's flagship device. If you've been following me on Twitter or anywhere really, you know that I am a huge fan of the original Moto X. I loved that phone, so I'm really excited to get my hands on this one and start kind of playing around with it. Pretty standard stuff on here. They gave me the Verizon model. They were handing out Verizon and AT&T and possibly others, although those were the only two that I saw going around. So we take off this sleeve, and what I think is kind of cool is there's actually a little cutout circle where the Motorola logo is actually imprinted on the box itself, and it's got kind of the same little, you know, little design pattern that the original Moto X box, which I happen to have sitting right here, coincidentally. It's got kind of the same thing, not quite as many fun colors, but it's still pretty neat. So go ahead and open that up, and the very first thing we see is the new Moto X. Super nice stuff here. This is just the plain Jane black model. Although it's going to come in all the same colors, all the same materials as last year, with the addition of 3 new leather materials, which is really cool. They are genuine leather. It's not some kind of faux leather like Samsung's doing, and they made sure to point that out with as many jabs as they could possibly throw. So it's genuine leather, not on this model, but if you do order one of the leather ones, that will be real. So going around the phone, the indent, the little dimple that we all loved so much last year on the previous Moto X is sort of still here, sort of different. It's a lot bigger now. You can see it's almost the same size as the camera lens. Actually, it's a little bit bigger than the lens itself. But what that kind of translates to is it's a lot easier for your finger to just kind of fall right into place with that divot whenever you're holding the phone, which is pretty nice. So it's the aesthetics of it are kind of, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it's definitely nicer for your finger to fall into. Right above that is that camera. This has been upgraded. We all kind of hated the camera on the Moto X last year. This one, they say, has been quite a bit improved, although I haven't tested it myself yet. This is a 13 megapixel camera as opposed to last year's 10 megapixel, and they've added this dual LED flash ring around it, which is, you know, pretty neat. That's something you see usually on more of a video setup. So it's kind of interesting to see them do that on a phone. And this camera actually also shoots 4K, which is pretty nice. Now, what they mentioned quite a few times in the presentation was that there wasn't enough room within the phone to be able to put the antennas, and so they actually ended up integrating the antennas into this metal band lining the side of the phone. This is real metal, which makes it gives it a really nice premium feel, and I really enjoy that. But the antennas are built into the band right around here, so they did also promise that's not going to end up with bad results as other metal banded phones. They were throwing all kinds of jabs out there, which was pretty entertaining. I'm gonna go ahead and peel this off because I really just want to get into this phone as soon as I possibly can. So we'll take that off. Here you can see again there's those front-facing speakers, which are really nice. Here you can see powered by Android. If you can see that, I think the camera's kind of blowing out. That's okay. We'll zoom in a little bit. We've got a front-facing camera, of course, right up here. There's none of that unsightly IR port that I didn't like on the G, which is pretty nice. Down on the bottom, I mean, it's pretty much the same layout as last time. So you got the micro USB down here, headphone jack up top, where I like it. I know most people like it on the bottom. Maybe I'm weird. I don't like it down there. You also get the power and volume. The power button up here has got this really cool little texture to it that I like quite a bit, and there's nothing on the left-hand side. SIM card is going to go right up top, and we're not going to go quite over all the new features on here because that's, we can save that for another video, but suffice to say, they've added a lot of new features to make this an even better phone than last year's Moto X. Just a lot of things that make it more automated. Same kind of concept as last year. They just took it another step further. So I'm really looking forward to giving this a try and seeing what all they've done to the phone that I loved so much last year. So we're gonna have more coverage on all of these devices very soon, of course. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.